As we know, guys, in last class, we people have seen that sexual reproduction in plants, like how the fertilization will takes place and formation of fruits and as well as seeds. And we can say finally we have been concluded that seeds are called as what? Reproductive units of a plant. So seeds are having, if you take any seeds, it is having mainly two parts. So one part is called as what? Cotyledons. So means a sense of which will contains food. And as well as if you take any kind of a seed, so it is having now a similarly like a liver-like structure and as well as two leaf-like structures. So what is this called as? This is only we used to call as a baby plant. Is it yes or no? So in this baby plant, this part we used to call as, which will converting into root, is called as what? Radical, and which will grow into a shoot is called as plumule. So this together we used to call as baby plant, and the external body of this one we used to call as what we used to call cotyledons. So cotyledons will provide food when the seeds are germinating. So like this, all the things we discussed in the last class. So how the seeds are germinating, what is the stages of germinating seeds and all. Yes, guys, please respond. Nobody will answer. So now germination of seeds also, first of all, radical will grow into a root. Later, what will happen? The plumule grows to form shoot. Then only the radical which is converting into root will absorb the water and as well as required minerals from the soil so that it will develop into a new plant. That is what we have been studied in the last class. So that is all regarding sexual reproduction in plants. So now coming to here, in our today's class, we are going to start the next and this is the most important concept in this chapter, a very big thing, and we have to learn so many things here. That is what? A sexual reproduction in animals. So first of all, if we'll see here, as we know animals means what? Including the human beings. Is it yes or no? Please respond. Including the human beings, even we people also are called as type of animals. Will you accept it? Please respond. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Including the human beings are called as animals. So now how the production of offsprings is carried out in these animals, that is what we used to call as sexual reproduction in animals. So now, first of all, if you want to understand this sexual reproduction, we should know the meaning of some important terms which already we have studied in sexual reproduction in plants. That is what? So as we know, first of all, whenever if it comes to the sexual reproduction, so first of all, we have to learn two types of sex. What is that called as? Male sex, and another one is what it is, guys? Another one is female sex. Is it as? And next one, this male sex and female sex together we used to call it as what? That is what we used to call it as gametes. Next one, in these animals, you people should know the male sex, particularly we used to call it as sperms, and the next one, ova. So ova means what we used to call eggs, we can say. So ova is the plural form of ovum. That is what you have to remember. So the ovum or egg we used to call it as a singular form, and the plural form of ovum is called as ova. So now this is what before fertilization. So after fertilization we used to get the words called as like fertilization. So fertilization after what will form, guys? It will form the zygote. Yes or no? In plants also same thing, correct? So now zygote will converting into embryo. And this even this baby plant only in plants, we used to call it as what, guys? What happened? Nobody will speak. So that is only we used to call it as embryo. Yes or no? And later this embryo will start converting into a new organism. So these are involved in any kind of sexual reproduction. So now let us see. First of all, we should know what is male and as well as what is female. So that is the first category of these words which we have to study in this sexual reproduction in animals. So we people know what is male and as well as and what is female. So can anyone say what do you mean by male and as well as what do you mean by female? How you people can say it is a male and it is a female? So let us see. For example, let us start with human beings. So humans, if we'll take, so we are having, for example, if we'll take, you can start with anybody's, or my father or your father, everybody. So generally we can take it as our father. So our father is called as what, guys? Male or female? Our father is called as what? He is called as male. And our mother, who is to say, it is what it is called as female, we can say. Is it as, Nitana? So now if we'll see here, a male, like what we are calling as our father also we can say male, or we can say male sex, we can call. So whatever it is. And female also we can call it as female sex. Do you understand? So now if we'll see here, our father, who is called as a male or male sex, understanding? So these person only we used to call as a man, and our mother who is having female or female sex, who is to call as what, guys? Please respond. Who is to call as woman, we can say. Yes or no? Please respond. So a man is a male and a female woman is called as female. That is what we can say, anything. So finally we can say a man means either a male or male sex, and female means in the sense of a woman is said to be a female or female sex. So similarly, if we'll take, like, these are grown up things. So now elderly, if we'll take a boy is come under what? Male or female? A boy and girl. A boy, if we'll take, he will come under what, guys? He will come under male sex, and as well as if we'll take a girl, the girl will come under female sex. That is what you have to remember. So now, just like human beings, this is what the category of us, because we people are a priority here, animals. So we are the first matured two legs animals. So that is why we are discussing always in the males and females. So as we know, like boy or like father means man, we can say as a male sex, and as well as woman or a girl is called as female sex. Now, like same like human beings, other animals also, they are also having male and female sex. Do you understand? So not only human beings, if you take other animals, including plants also, even a male and female plants are there. You might be notice it if you are cultivating particular crops in our agricultural land, particularly in cauliflower and even green chili and all. Some plants, male plants, easily we people can find, even tomato, like these crops. So even animals also, other animals also, there are two types. One is what it is. One is a male. Another one is what? A female. Okay. So being a male and female, how sir we can categorize trees, even plants also having male and female plants, female sexes. That is all we already discussed also. Even flowering plants, not plants itself. Some plants are male plants, some plants are female plants. So now, how we people can classify? Can anyone give, sir, how you can suppose I have been shown you two animals. How you people can say it is a male and it is a female? For example, I have been shown you a lion and a lioness. So both are lions only. A common name of that is called as lion. Or anything I will show you. Suppose if you take a cow or else a bull or whatever it is. How you people are classifying it is a male or it is a female? Can anyone say please respond? That is what I want. So respond here. Don't know. So this being a male or female, how we can say means it is only depends on a type of sex cell. Do you understand? A type of depends on what, guys? A type of sex cell present in the one's bodies. That is what. So depends on a type of sex cells. What kind of sex cells you have present on your body will decide either you are a male or you are a female. So that is what you have to remember. So animals which is having male sex cells, remember. So whatever the animals which having a male sex cells, so these male sex cells in animals we used to call as, what is the name of that? Anyone? The male sex cells is only called as sperms, we can say. Understand? And it is present in male body. So that is what we used to call as male. And same way if you take animals having female sex cells, then that is what we used to call as, what I said, female sex cells, ova, or we can say eggs, we can say, and this body is called as female, we can say. You understand, everyone? So now let us discuss. So as we know, we are having two kinds of sex cells. So what is the common name of this both the sex cells? Anyone? What we can call as this common name of the sex cells? Jesse, Krutiga, please speak here. Don't be silent. So what is the common name of this one? That is what we used to call as gametes, we can say. What it is? Gametes. So now, what do we mean by this gametes and how it is? Let us see now. So as we know already in first also, the reproduction in plants also I told you. So here gametes, as we know, basically the sexual reproduction takes place by the combination of a special cells. That is what we used to call as, what is that cells called as? A sex cells. So these sex cells are two types. So these sex cells only we used to call as, what is another name of sex cells? That is what we used to call as gametes. So we know that these cells involved in sexual reproduction, so they are only we used to call as gametes. So these gametes are two types. One is what? One is a male gametes and another one is what? Female gametes. Do you understand, everyone? So now this male gametes only we used to call as, what we used to call? Male sex cells. Do you understand, everyone? So male sex cells and female gametes is to called as female sex cells. So now this male sex cells only we used to called as sperm and female sex cell is only we used to called as ovum, or a singular form it is actually. So what is the plural form of ovum, guys? We can say egg. Understand? So ovum also we can call it as ova is the plural form. So this is what we used to call as gametes. So in sexual reproduction in animals, if you take any animals, a male or man or boy or else we can say animal, everything. If it is a male, then it is having a sperms, and a female, it is having a ovum. So now, if you observe here, these sperms and ovums, they are extremely small cells which we cannot see with our naked eye. So, what is the only way to see this male and female sex cells, guys? Can anyone say? What is the only way which we can see? It is with a powerful microscopes. Understand? So now, all of you remember here, a female gametes usually we used to call which are a name called as ovum or egg, and ovum is a what? It's a singular form, and it's a plural form of ovum is only called as ov. So now, these if you'll observe basically, if you'll take a male sex cell and as well as female sex cell, remember, they are extremely small in nature, and a female sex cell is similar to in form of like we can say a egg shape. It is like it's a spherical shape. So now here it is the importance of we need to study what is the importance of this female and male sex cells and what is their body parts. So if you notice in this picture, you people can might be understand what is male and what is female sex cell. So can anyone say what is the first part, first diagram which you are seeing here? So this is what we used to call as, what is this? It is called as a male cell, understand, sperm, and this is what we used to call as what? A female sex cell called as ovum, or we can say egg. So now if you'll observe very carefully here, this ovum middle only some kind of another spherical kind of thing we are seeing. That is what we used to call as. What is that called as? Nucleus. So this is the nucleus is the most important part of ovum, or we can say egg, because that is what where the fertilization will takes place. So now if you notice it, it is having a cell membrane as well as it is having inside a cytoplasm. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond. So now this ovum or egg, if you notice it, basically it is having, it contains water. Do you understand? Everyone. And also it is having a stored food. These eggs basically, because during fertilization it will be helpful. Like in seeds, how it will be storing the food and it is helping while it is growing. That is what we used to call as cotyledons. Like the ovum contains water and stored food. So if you take here, the most important part of a egg is nucleus. So why the nucleus is important, guys? Can anyone say? Because there only the fertilization will takes place and the further process like formation of zygote and embryo will be carried forward. So that is one. So, and it is having a cytoplasm. In this, it contains water and as well as a stored food. This is what we used to call as a female reproductive cell called as egg, we can say, or ovum. So now if you see basically a human ovum, a human being ovum you can take, means a female, ours, understanding. So a female gamete, basically it is in a round shape. What is the shape of that? It is in round shape and its diameter is 0.15 millimeter. Do you understand, everybody? What is this called as? 0.15 millimeter diameter. So imagine how much extremely small it is. That is why it is possible to see with the help of a powerful microscopes. Understand, everyone? Please respond. So if you'll see here, this ovum or egg, also we can say it is a single cell having a nucleus. Like amoeba and all, we people have studied correct. They are single cell organisms. Please respond. No, nobody is speaking, then what is the use? So as it is also like a single cell like paramecium and amoeba and all. It is also a single cell organism, looks like single cell organism, and which is having what? Which is having a nucleus and as well as it is having cytoplasm and also having it is what? Membrane, it is having cell membrane. That is what you have to remember. So now if you notice it, after this, if it comes to here, a thread like having like, if you can see, a long tail which contains a sharp tip and all. This is what we used to call as. What is this called as, guys? A sperm, or we can say it is what it is, a male gamete. So if you see here, these sperms are hundreds or even thousands of times it is smaller than the ovum, and it is having a very, very long tail. This is what you have to remember. So it is having very long tail. So and if you compare to the egg, it is hundreds of times smaller. And if you take here, these sperms are basically, they are motile in nature. So what do you mean by motile? Anybody can say? Motile in nature. So plants are non-motile. and animals are mortal in nature. What do you mean by mortal? Anybody can say, speak. So,
Sir, they will die.
not
No, they
what?
will removed. They will be removed.
No. Mortal means which can move independently with the help of their tails. Do you understand, Padmavarshini, what I'm saying? Which can move independently. That is what we used to call as mortal in nature. So these sperms will move, they will travel from one place to another place with the help of by shaking like fish. How the fish will travel with the help of tail only, correct? It will shake it front and back, like to and from motion, so that it will push the water and will move forward, swimming. Same way, the sperms also will swim with the help of tail. So that is what they can move independently. Do you understand, everyone? They can move independently with the help of what? With the help of what, guys? With the help of tail. That is what we can say. Tail is the most important part of any sperm. So they can move independently with the tail. So that is what we can say. Sperms are, what is the nature? They are mortal in nature.
Mortal.
Please call to option list. Tell them to join fastly. Nitish, are you understand, Nitish? Please respond. Bhumika, Jesse. So now if you'll see it here, here also if you'll notice it, the sperms are basically the mortal in nature. For them also, a red color part you might be seeing here, like a oval shape. So this red color part only is to called as, what is that called as, guys? Nucleus. Do you understand? Nucleus. And here you can see this nuclei of the sperm and ovum, both they contains, what they contains means, here you might be able to see like a snake-like structures. So what is that called as, guys? And this red one also contains like this only, snake-like structure, small. What is that? Can anyone say? It is called as animal and plant cells you are studying, might be studying. What is that, anyone, please? Nobody knows? It will start with a C. What is that called as? Very important. Genes from parents to offsprings. That is what we used to call as. What is that called? Anyone, please? Chromosomes. Good. So that is what we can say. So both this nucleus of both sperm and as well as ovum, they contains chromosomes. So what is the use of these chromosomes, guys? They only which will carry what? Carry the genes. Do you understand? So from parents to the offsprings, the genes is carried with the help of these nucleus only. That is what I said, nucleus is very important. So now, after this nucleus, a empty space is filled with what? Cytoplasm, which is contains what again? A stored water and as well as food it contains. Okay. So now, as well as it is having a surrounding called as head, and it is which will be a hard surface which will help to break the cell membrane of egg. Do you understand, everyone? Which will help to what? A sharp, it will be very sharp, which will help to break the cell membrane of female what is that female cell during the fertilization time. That is what you have to remember. So now, if you notice it here it is supporting to this nucleus part, like yellow color you might be seeing here. This is what we used to call as a middle piece of a sperm, which will just support to the nucleus, and which will connect tail and as well as head. Like our head and our body is connected with the help of neck, correct? Same way here, a middle piece is connecting tail and as well as head. That is what it is. So from this we can say sperms are what we used to call, guys, they are the male gametes of animals, and as well as ova or eggs are female gametes of animals. Is it yes or no, guys? Please respond. So once these male gametes will reaches to the female gametes, do you understanding? So then what will happen? A fusion of gametes takes place and they will give a combined cell. Once this male cell will fuse or fertilize with the female cell, then this both together will become a single cell. That single cell only we used to call as, what we used to call guys? That single cell only we used to call as zygote. Yes or no? So the cells which is formed by the fusion of male and female cell is only we people used to call as zygote. So we can say simply a zygote means what it is that? It is the fertilized egg, or we can say fertilized. What is that called as guys? Fertilized ovum we can say if you want to simply. So all these multicellular animals like us, not a single cellular organisms, they will start their life from a single cell called as zygote, and later the process of fusion of gametes is you can take here this zygote is a single cell organism, so later it will be fuses into multiple cells like that continuously, and it will form the new organism. That is what we can say new offsprings or the next generation we people can say. So every multicellular organism, it will start with a single cellular organism. After fertilization, later only it will start forming multiple into the new cells. So like that cells will multiple continuously, according to that the new organisms will develop. So every multicellular animals, it is what the process which will carried out. So we also people, if you consider me or you, everybody, we people are started with how many cells starting? Everybody, our body started with a single cell. That is what a fused egg or ovum we can say. That is only called as zygote. So later only this zygote will be further divided into multiple cells, and it will start forming into the new organism. So now let us see this formation of zygote will carried out by one process. What is that process called as? Anybody can say? How this zygote is forming, guys? By the process of which one? Kavya, Tarani, can you say? Kevin? So it is carried out by one process. What is that process name called as? Yes, Tarani, very good. Fertilization. So that is what we are going to study now. Karthikeyan, are you understanding? Please respond. So that is what we people are going to study now. So hope you all understand this. Padmosan, are you clear? So next we are going to study fertilization in animals. So like flower plants, we will study it. The fertilization will carried out like how it is. The pollen grains will move from anther to the stigma. Then it will be fertilization will carried out. So like here also same thing. If the fertilization want to take place, then the male reproductive cells called as sperms is carried out from male body into the female body. So then only the fertilization or else the male sex cells will fuse us with the female sex cells. So then we can say that process is only called as simply the process of fusion of gametes is only called as fertilization. That is what we people are going to study now. So all of you keep heading fertilization. Shall we start? So now observe very carefully. So in sexual reproduction, basically what will happen in the sense of male gametes from the male body, they will combine with what, guys? They must combine with the female gametes. Then only we used to get a common cell. That is what we used to call as egg. Yeah, fertilized egg. That is what we can say zygote. So this male gamete fuse, this combine only we used to call as fuse, must fuse then with the female gamete. That is what we can say. Then only the fusion of this male gamete with the female gamete, they will form a single cell during the sexual reproduction. So that cell is called as zygote. So this formation of zygote only we used to call with the name as, what is that called as, guys? This formation of zygote only we used to call as fertilization. Are you clear, everyone? So the formation of zygote by fusion of male gamete with the female gamete is only called as fertilization. So since if we'll take here the male gametes of animals, what we used to call, guys? The male gametes are called as
Sperms.
sperms, understanding, and the female gametes of female we used to call as ovum, or we can say egg. So we can say here the fusion of sperm with ovum to form a zygote, that is what we can call as fertilization. But in which reproduction? Sexual reproduction. So according to the sperms, you no need to use every time in the form of male gametes or female gametes. You can say a fertilization means a fusion of sperms with the female ovum to form a zygote during the sexual reproduction is only called as fertilization. So please all of you write the definition if you want. You can write a simple definition. The fusion of a sperm, please write it. The fusion of a sperm with an ovum, or you can say it is called as egg, ovum, to form a zygote during sexual reproduction. During sexual reproduction, what we used to call? Is called
Fertilization.
fertilization. Okay. So now, so as we know that from this we can say the process of fertilization, what will happen? It will produce us a new cell called as zygote. Simply if you want to say. So fertilization means what, guys? Fertilization means in the form of equation we can say a formation of new cell called as what it is? Zygote. That's all. So that is only we can say formation of new cell is only called as zygote. So these zygote, usually we can say it is a fertilized ovum or fertilized egg. So this zygote will start grows and develops to form a new baby. That is what the process will happen. So these zygote will grow and they will form into a new baby. That is what the fertilization process will ends. Means the sexual reproduction will ends. So now here if you'll see the unborn baby, if you'll take for example cats, dogs and all, 3 months is the sexual reproduction period. If you'll take humans, how many months it will take after formation of zygote? It will take how many days? 9 months, correct or not? 9 months we can say. Elephant, 600 days it will take. Understand? So elephant, it will take 600 days to give birth to one elephant. And we humans, we 90% cases give birth to how many babies? How many babies we can say? Respond, one baby. But some animals you might be see, they will give at a time multiple babies. Is it yes or no? Please respond. That kind of process, and even humans also, sometimes you might be rarely notice it. Twins used to born at a time. Have you seen? Yes, and sometimes you might be see 3 babies, 4 babies. Even news you might be heard. One baby, world's highest babies in humans. One lady recently, one woman given at a time birth to 9 babies. 9 babies and 9 are healthy. I think African countries. One lady given birth to 9 babies at a time. So that is where rarely will takes place. That kind of reproduction is called as multiple fertilization at a time. Do you understand? If multiple fertilization will take place at a time, then only it is possible to cause for getting a twins or more than that also. But in animals, most commonly you can see some animals, if you take cow, buffalo and all, horse, giraffe, this all will give birth to what, guys? A single baby, like human beings. But if you take cat, dog, pig, and as well as goat, sheep and all, they will give babies to how many? Every time more than one baby they will give birth. Have you noticed it? Please respond. So,
Yes, sir.
and the time period of this fusion, once the zygote will form and it will developing into the new baby. So the growth of this zygote, it is not same for animal to animal. So the time period to develop this zygote into a new baby, that is what we can say unborn baby. Before birth, we can say what it is, guys? Unborn baby. So these unborn baby, usually in the uterus of early stages, and this uterus in the large stages, later it will development, and it is only called as fetus, we can say. So this fetus we used to call as FETES. So for example, remember, so this unborn baby in the uterus, early stages of development, we can say, means in the sense of our body parts are not much developed. Understand, when it is present, this unborn baby, early stages. Early stages means in the sense of what? When no body parts is developed. Do you understand it? No parts are developed well. No parts are developed. So that is what we used to call as embryo. What we used to call as, guys? Embryo, we can say. Do you understand, everyone? So now, if we'll take the unborn baby, where it is present in uterus. Why I am saying uterus here, guys? Where? Because what is the location of fertilized egg will stay? It will stay on the uterus of female body only. Because basically fertilization will take place in where? Male body or female body? It will take place in female body. So that is called as uterus. So this unborn baby, early stages means when no body parts are developed.